In this video, I am going to explain about challenges in multi-voltage scaling. Generally, in multi-voltage scaling, we will see that we have low VDDs, low VDD, high VDD, and different types of VDDs in macro level. We will generate different VDDs in macro level, but it is not easy to generate this low VDD, high VDD, and different VDDs. Actually, we required a huge circuitry to generate that VDD in a chip. Those are the challenges in multi-voltage scaling. We will see one by one what are these challenges. See here, in order to generate those VDDs, we have additional power supply network is required, and insertion of level converters are required, and complex characterization and static time analysis is required, and complex floor planning and routing and power up and down sequences. These are the challenges in multi-voltage scaling. We need to overcome these challenges in order to generate the low VDD, high VDD, and different types of VDDs. See here, as a consequence, when a simple multi-voltage design present the designer with a number of challenges. For a simple multi-voltage design, present a designer with a number of challenges. We will see one by one what are the challenges we will face in multi-voltage scaling. Okay, generally for a multi-voltage scaling, we need different types of VDDs. In order to generate those different types of VDDs in a chip, it is very complex. We have many challenges. We will see one by one. See here, first one is voltage scaling interfaces. When the signal goes from one voltage domain to another voltage domain, means when the signal goes from low level to high level or high level to low level, it is necessary to insert level converters or shifters. It is necessary to convert level converters or shifters. Why it is necessary to convert level converters or shifters means, see here in this figure, this is the low VDD to high VDD converter. This one is the low VDD to high VDD converter. Here when we convert the low VDD to high VDD converter, at that time this pull up and pull down network is on. This pull up and pull down network is on. At that time, what happens means the short circuit will be arises. When this pull up and pull down network is on at a particular time, at that time the short circuit is arises. When the short circuit is arises, what happens means the short circuit power dissipation will be increases. In order to decrease those type of power dissipation, means short circuit power dissipation, we need level converters or shifters. Okay, we need level converters or shifters. Or we need to improve the voltage swing or signal quality, we need buffers. We need to insert a buffers in the circuitry. This is the content. When you convert the signal from one domain to another domain, we need a level converter, shifters, and buffers. Why we need a level converter, shifters, and buffers means, in a circuitry there is a chance to get a short circuit. When the circuitry is a short circuit, at that time the short circuit power dissipation will be arises, or it may be decrease the voltage swing. In order to increase the voltage swing, we need to put buffers. See here, in voltage scaling references, we have two voltage scaling references. First one is high to low voltage level converter. Then we will see the low to high voltage level converter. See, these the high to low voltage level converters. This is the logic symbol for high to low voltage level converters. When you give high voltage, it will get the low voltage. This is the high to low level converter. See here, when you give high voltage to the inverter, then the output of this first inverter is low. The output of the first inverter is low. When you give the input as low to the second inverter, at the time the PMOS transistor is on. The PMOS transistor is on means this VDD draws here from and goes to the output. This VDD draws here from and goes to the output. Then you will get the VDDL. When you give high voltage or high input, at the time we will get the low voltage. This is the conversion of high to low level converters. Okay, this is the logic symbol and this is the circuitry. See here, when we give high input to the inverter, first inverter, then the output of the inverter is low level input. Then the low level input is given to the second level inverter. At that time the PMOS transistor will be on. When the PMOS transistor will be on, a direct path is established between VDD and drain region, and VDD and the ground, VDD and the output. At that time the entire VDDL comes here. This is the concept of converting from high level to low level converters. See here the next one is low to high level converters. This is somewhat difficult compared to the high to low level converters. Here the circuitry is more, the circuitry is big in low to high level converter. See here, this is the logic symbol for low to high level converter. We are using this circuit to convert the voltage from low to high. This circuit is nothing but a dual cascade voltage scale logic. This circuit is nothing but a dual cascade voltage scale logic, voltage switch logic, dual cascade voltage switch logic. In this circuitry we have two main parts. One is differential input, one is the differential input, another one is the positive feedback. The first one is differential input, another one is the positive feedback. See the operation of the circuit. Here when you give input low value, at the time the output of this inverter is, here we will get the high. The output of the first inverter will get high and the output of the second inverter will get low. When input is low, at the time the first inverter get output is high, then the second inverter output is low. When this is high, it is given to the M1 transistor. Then when high level input is given to the NMOS transistor, when this is in on position. When the low level input is given to the NMOS transistor, this M2 is in off position. Okay, then this is in on position. A direct path from VDD, there a direct path from ground is established. Then we will give the low level input to the M4 transistor. This is PMOS transistor. When low level input gives to the M4 transistor, this is in on position. At that time the entire VDD will comes to the output. Okay, understand this topic. The entire VDD will comes to the output. When you give input as low signal, the output of the first inverter, here the output of the first inverter is high level logic, then the output of second inverter low level logic. When high level logic is given to the NMOS transistor, this transistor will be on and this transistor will be off. When this transistor will be on, what happens? A direct path is established from ground. When the direct path is established from ground, is the ground is a low level signal or logically 0. When logically 0 is given to the PMOS transistor, the PMOS transistor will be on. Then the direct path from VDD to output is established. Then the entire VDD will comes at the output. This is the logic for low to high level converter. This circuit is nothing but a dual cascade voltage switch logic. This circuit is nothing but a dual cascade voltage switch. Here we are using the differential input. Here is the differential input. The first input is of the output of first inverter and the second input is the output of the second inverter. That's why it is differential logic. Then here we are using the positive feedback. Here see here from the M4 transistor to M3 transistor and M3 transistor to M4 transistor. This is the positive feedback. This is the circuit for realize the low to high level voltage converter. See here, and then in this concept we will see how to place how to do placement for the converters. I already see that low to high level converter and high to low level converter. This A figure is the high to low level converter placement. Then this B figure is the low to high level converter placement. After we realize the circuit, we need to put on a chip. That is nothing but a placement. When you manufacture when you realize the circuit, when you realize the high to low level converter or low to high level converter, at that time we need to place in a particular chip. That is nothing but a placement. Here how to placement the converter we will see one by one. The first one is high to low level converter. We will see here the placement of high to low level converter is more simpler than the low to high level converter. Here we are using only one domain, that is low level voltage domain. This is the low level voltage domain, VDD. Here we are using only one domain, that is VDDL. That's why it is very simple compared to the low to high level converter. See here, for low to high level converter we are using the low voltage domain VDDL and this is nothing but a high voltage domain. In this port we will give the high voltage domain. That's why it is somewhat difficult to do placement. That is nothing but low to high level converter is somewhat difficult to do in placement. Why? Because here we need to give two voltages. One is low level voltage domain, another one is high level voltage domain. That's why it is somewhat difficult compared to the high to low level converter. Here in high to low level converter we will give only low voltage domain. Okay, this is the placement converter placements. Here this is the input. When input is 1.5 volts, the output is converted to 1.0 volts, means it is converted from high to low. It is converted from high to low. See here, the input is 1.1 volt, then it is converted to 1.5 volts, means it is converted from low to high. This is the placements for high to low level converter and low to high level converter. See here, then we will see the placement on routing. How to do placements on routing for the low to high level low to high level converters and high to low level converters. So we will see the placement here. This is nothing but a grid logic. In order to placement on routing in multiple VDD design, when we using the grid logic, we will get the high performance and low power dissipation. See here, these are the metals. This one is the metal, this is the one metal, and this is the second metal. See here, this is the one metal and this is the second metal. Each metal is divided into three parts. The first part is VDDH, means high voltage level. The second part is VDDL. Then the third part is VSS. VSS is nothing but a ground. Similarly here for a second metal, the first part is VDDH and the second part is VDDL. Similarly here, the third part is VDDH. This patches means this patches is nothing but a contacts. See here, this one contact, second one, third one, fourth one, third one. Here we have many contacts according to the requirement. In this metal also we have many contacts. When the contact is from VDDH and VSS, see here, in the first one the contact is from contact to VDDH and the VSS. There is no contact for VDDL. Similarly here for VDDH and VSS, then this entire row is act as a VDDH row. Okay, the contact is done with a VDDH and VSS. The entire this row belongs to the VDDH row. Then the contact is of VDDL and VSS. The entire row belongs to VDDL row. Similarly for, see here, the third one, the contact is for VDDL and VSS. Here also the contact is from VDDL and VSS. Then this entire row belongs to VDDL row. This why, in this way we will place and routing the multi VDD designs in order to get the high performance and low power dissipation. See here, the next topic is static timing analysis. For a single voltage, generally we are studying for a multi voltage. For a single voltage, consider for a single voltage, it is easy to characterize and find out the static timing analysis. For a single voltage, it is easy to characterize and finding the static timing analysis. We need not be used a automation tool. We use the automation tool in worst case for a single voltage, when there is a change in voltage and temperatures conditions. At that time only we will use the automation tool for a single voltage. On the other hand, when you use a multi voltage designs, we definitely use the electronic design automation tool. Okay, electronic design automation tool to optimize the individual blocks or subsystems. That is the concept of static timing analysis. In order to get the static timing analysis in a single voltage, when you use a single voltage, it is easy to get the static timing analysis for a single voltage without using the electronic design automation tool. In worst case we are using, but we didn't use the electronic design automation tool in single case. On the other hand, for a multi voltage design, we definitely use the EDA tool to optimize the individual blocks and subsystems. That is the static timing analysis. In order to get the static timing analysis in multi voltage design, we definitely use the electronic design automation tool. Let's see the next topic, that is power up and power down sequence. Here we have two conditions in power up and power down sequence. Generally it is very important in system level issues, the power up and power down sequence in multi voltage scaling. Here we have, in this power up and power down sequences, here we have two conditions. See the first condition is, in order to avoid the power line glitches, all the power supplies doesn't up all the power supplies simultaneously. Okay, in order to avoid the power line glitches, we doesn't bring up all the power supplies simultaneously. Remember that one. That is the first condition. We doesn't bring up or we doesn't on the power supply simultaneously in order to avoid the power line glitches. If you on or if you bring up or on the power supply simultaneously, what happens means the power line glitches will be arises. In order to avoid this power line glitches, we didn't bring up all the power supply simultaneously. Okay, that is the first condition. The second condition is when you done a reset, at that time all the power supply domains completely power up. When you done a reset, if there is any, why we done a reset, if there is any error or any stuck in the operation, or if we have any error or any stuck in the operation, we need to do reset. If before you do the reset, you always kept in mind that is all the power domains are completely power up. At that time only we need to do reset. That is the two conditions. The first one is our power line glitches, we doesn't bring up all the power supply simultaneously. The second one is in order to do the reset, all the power domains are completely power up. At that time only we do reset. That is the two conditions for power up and power down sequences. See here for clock distribution. Generally the clock distribution, we distributed all the clock to level converters also. Generally for a clock distribution multi-voltage design and single design, if you have a converter, the clock is distributed to those converters, passing through those converters also. At that time we need a synthesis tool. When the clock is passing through the all level converters, we need a synthesis tool. The synthesis tool is used to automatically insert them in appropriate places. Okay, that is the use of clock distribution. Then generally, if we have a converters or if we have a circuitries, generally the clock is passing through all the circuitries. If the clock is passing through all the circuitries, in order to select a particular circuit, in order to do operation for a particular circuit, we need a synthesis tool. It is automatically insert them in approximate places. When the clock is used, at that time only the clock is applied to the particular level converters. That is the clock distribution. Generally it is connected, the clock is connected to the clock is passing through the all converters in order to the requirement which level converter is or which sub circuit or which system is on. At that time only the clock is needs to distributed. That in order to get the distribution, we need a synthesis tool. That is the clock distribution topic. See here for this final one, that is a low voltage swing. See here in low, this is the circuit belongs to low voltage swing. See here we have a high to low converter. This is a high to low converter. Then we have, this is the low to high converter. This is a low to high converter. We already studied that this is high to low converter and this is low to high converter. In between these two converter, if we have an interconnect wire, for this interconnect wire, if there is a large capacitance in these two converters or any sub circuit in this any sub circuit in voltage multi-voltage scaling, if there is an interconnect wire, the interconnect wire has a large capacitance. At that time what happens means the voltage swing will be reduces. Remember that point. If the interconnect wires have a large capacitance, at that time the voltage swing, the voltage swing will be reduces. When the voltage swing will be reduces, the switching power dissipation is also decreases. This is the advantage. When voltage swing is reduces, the switching power dissipation is also decreases. See here once again, when the interconnect is between the high to low converter or low to high converter or any sub circuit in a voltage level scaling, multi-voltage scaling, at that time if the interconnect have a large capacitance, due to this large capacitance the voltage swing will be reduces and also switching power dissipation is also reduces. That is advantage. But we have a large capacitance in interconnects, the efficiency is decreases in a deep submicron technology. Remember that point also. If we get an advantage, that is the switching power dissipation is we get advantage, that is the switching power dissipation is decreases. The voltage swing also decreases when you have a large capacitance, but the efficiency of the circuit will be decreased in deep submicron technology. Submicron technology is nothing but when the chip is manufactured with a micrometer range. At that time the efficiency will be decreases by using this concept. If you have a interconnect wires with large capacitance. Okay, these are the challenges in multi-level voltage scale design.